Tuesday and happy So What Day. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I hope that you are ready to celebrate with me today because today we are celebrating 38 years of Sulky of America. That's right. I actually meant to celebrate with this sound, which is my party noisemaker. But applause also. So, yeah, 38 years of Sulky. It's something to celebrate. And I have a brand new embroidery design collection to share with you called Celebrations. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you a couple of projects to make using the collections, including an In the Hoop gift tag. And the designs are really suitable for a number of occasions. So that's why it's called Celebrations. You can send one that just says thinking of you. You can send one for a birthday message. You get the idea. So they are really meant for gifts of all kinds. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I also have several things to give away during today's So What in the spirit of this great milestone and celebration. I am going to give away the Celebrations Machine Embroidery Collection, which includes 6 In the Hoop gift tag designs and 6 flat designs. So just the designs without the gift tag steps. And those come in all sorts of sizes as well. 3 sizes on the flats and then 1 size for the gift tag. This is all in one embroidery collection that is available at sulky.com and it's valued at $34.99. So one lucky viewer who is watching, commenting, sharing this post right now. Also, you need to like us on Facebook if you're watching there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there. And that's all you have to do to be automatically eligible to win today's gifts from Sulky. So our Celebrations Machine Embroidery Collection is 1 gift. And then I'm also going to give away a couple of mystery boxes. That's right. Now, our Slice of Summer mystery box has sold out. So I hope that all of you were able to get one, that you have received it by now, that you are opening your box and figuring out what is inside and seeing what you want to make with the contents. Whether you want to make the projects that the projects or patterns that we provided with the box, that is totally up to you. Or you can go out on your own and create something totally unique and special for you. So I believe next week I'm going to unveil what those projects were in the mystery box. Or maybe I should unveil them right now. What do you guys think? How about if I unveil one of them and then next week we can talk about the other. So in everyone's mystery box was a beautiful leather gift tag blank. These are really great for embroidery, and you may have gotten this color, you may have gotten this color. They come in all sorts of great colors. These also make really great gifts. And speaking about the gift tags that we're going to make, the embroidery process for these luggage tags, it's a little bit similar in hooping process because obviously we can't hoop this, right? So if you are wondering, how do I embroider this thing? With your mystery box, you got some links, some tutorials, some special tips for how to embroider these. And they either came in your box on a printed flyer. There's a little QR code on that flyer that takes you to a landing page with all of the links for everything that was in your box. So you would find the link there on that landing page. And then I believe also it may have been emailed to you once you got your box. sorry, I can't remember at this moment if that one was emailed or not, since it's not technically a pattern. But anyways, um, let's see. Oh, Esther says she got 2 luggage tags. I received one red and one mustard. Huh, okay, perfect. Chris says mine was a beautiful yellow. Love that. Amy's excited to see what was in the mystery box. A few of you got a yellow color. They were all in really great summery colors. They are great for identifying your luggage if you're going to go on a cruise or something like that. I would hesitate putting this on something like a checked bag just because it's so special and it's nice and high quality leather. And you know what happens to all of your things once they go through the conveyor belt. But that is entirely up to you. Like I said, these make really great gifts as well. For anybody who is going off to college, or just maybe you're going on a girls' trip for the weekend and you embroider one for everybody in your crew. That makes a really, really great project. All right, Sue says, my projects from the mystery box are done. All right, love that. Oh, Esther, thank you. She says, I ordered 2 boxes, just clarifying that there was only 1 luggage tag in each box. Got it. All right, Susan got a red one. Love that. All right, so speaking of mystery boxes, I have 2 past mystery boxes to give away today in the spirit of Sulky's birthday. So I'm going to give away, let's see, I'm going to give away a 2024 spring mystery box. And the reason I'm giving this away, and the reason we actually have one, is because it's kind of funny, actually. We set aside a box to photograph, basically, for our landing page, and we forgot to put it back in inventory. Isn't that amazing? So we get to give it away to one lucky viewer who is watching and commenting and giving me those emojis, somehow engaging with the post. Also, again, as I mentioned, you need to have liked us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there, and that way I can contact you if you happen to be the winner. So we're giving away a Celebrations Machine Embroidery Design Collection valued at $34.99. We are giving away a 2024 Spring Mystery Box valued at $49.99. And I'm going to throw in a self-care 2023 mystery box as well. That's right, three chances to win on today's So What. So make sure that you're commenting and giving me those emojis, putting your questions in the live chat, and all of those great things. Susan says, amazing. For a lucky person here today, I will pick 3 winners at random to win these awesome, awesome gifts from Sulky. All right, so let's see what else we need to talk about today. Speaking of things that are selling out, I want to let you all know that our Tula Pink version of the So Can She organizer, these limited edition kits that I've been talking about for a couple weeks now, these are almost gone. So if you want to get a second one, if you were thinking about it but you haven't pulled the trigger yet, I think we only have something like 15 of these available. And once they're gone, they're gone. And right now, they are only $29.99 for a full kit to make this project. It includes 3 fat quarters of Tula Pink designer fabric by Free Spirit Fabrics. It includes the vinyl for the exposed pockets. It includes the zippers. They are Tula Pink zippers as well. And the magnetic snap that matches the zipper, all this vinyl, all of the thread needed to create this, of course, including your Sulky construction thread, as well as the decorative blendables thread that you use for the quilting. So this also makes a great gift. You can personalize the front of it with a monogram or a design of your choice. All the instructions are in our So Can She webcast, which is an on-demand webcast recording available at sewingonline.sulky.com. But once these are gone, they're gone. And you are going to want to get this fabulous Tula Pink fabric. You actually get to choose which fabric you want to showcase where, because you get a fat quarter of each of the 3 fabrics. So if you want this great checkered print to be your exterior, you can switch it up. If you want this beautiful teal print that's on the inside of mine here, on the outside, that's your choice. So you get to pick which fabric goes where, and the zippers and snap are going to coordinate regardless. It's all Tula Pink all the time, and this is designed by So Can She. It also comes with some foam interlining and a little bit of Sulky soft and sheer stabilizer, which we actually are going to use as interfacing behind our snap pieces to give it a little more body. So all that for $29.99. I mean, I can't even fathom how that even works. So definitely grab one of those up while you can, because they're selling like hotcakes. Another thing I noticed while I was on the website this morning, kind of preparing for, what do we have left? What can we talk about today? All of those good things. I happened to stumble upon this kit. So this kit is called the Copycat Leggings Kit. And we did an event where you took your favorite pair of leggings or pants, as the case may be, and we copied them so that we could pattern them and create more of our favorite leggings. So I happen to love this webcast at sewingonline.sulky.com. Again, it's called the Copycat Leggings. I love it because you know how expensive these really great pairs of leggings can be, like Lululemon leggings, things like this. Super expensive, and they don't last forever, especially if you work out a lot, if you even if you're just wearing them every single day. So we can learn how to pattern them and then create tons more in the fabrics of our choice. So this was one of the kits that was available for this webcast. And I happened to notice that it's on clearance closeout because we have very few left. We only have this colorway. During the event, we had a couple different colorways, but this beautiful tie-dye is still available. It's got these grays and purples and blues and pinks, and there is no show through on this fabric. So you don't have to worry about wearing a tighter fitting pant and having that dreaded show through. It is a double brushed poly spandex fabric that is so buttery and soft next to your skin. You are going to love working with it. And this kit comes with a 2-yard cut of that fabric, this beautiful Sulky poly deco thread in the gray color that matches the fabric print. And then you also get a pack of super stretch needles. So even if you don't want a pair of leggings, you can create any pattern that is made for stretch fabric as long as a 2-yard cut is enough. And this is on sale for $9 and some change. What? You can't even buy this fabric by the yard for $9. I mean, this is a crazy steal. I think this spool of thread alone is like $6.99 retail. So it's really like getting the fabric for free. So I wanted to bring this to your attention because this is another one of those that once it's gone, it's gone. And if you're purchasing up, let's say, the Tula Pink kit for $29.99 and you want to get to that free shipping threshold, why not put this in your cart and get this beautiful fabric, thread, and needles for $9 and some change? I mean, I don't know about you, but I am kind of thinking of telling Sulky to just send me all the yardage because I can think of a ton of garments I can make with 2 yards of fabric. The leggings, our lounge pants kit, from our embroidered lounge pants session that we did a couple years ago. You can make a little hoodie out of this. You can make a t-shirt out of this. You can make the perfect Sulky tee pattern that we have at sulky.com using this fabric and the needles and thread. So many things you can make with a 2-yard cut of fabric. It's a no-brainer, and you will love working with this fabric. Okay, I just saw it on the website and I was like, I have to tell everyone because that's a crazy deal. And you probably, unless you stumble upon it, you might not notice that it's there on the website. Another thing I noticed, the Scarlet Bag kits, super sale. You can get the Scarlet Bag kits. They vary in price just a few dollars because one has faux leather, one has cork fabric. And they have a little bit different threads with them. So that's why the price differs a little bit between the colorways. So it's something like, $30 or $34.99, depending on the one that you choose. For all the fabric, the canvas for the outer bag, the cotton for the lining, the faux leather or cork fabric, all of the hardware, all of the threads, and the foam interlining for these bags. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I feel like everywhere else in the world, prices are going up, up, up. Everything is becoming so that we can't even afford anything anymore. And here we are at Sulky with these kits that are like $30 to make a bag. You can't even buy a ready-made bag for $30 anymore. So get thee to sulky.com and grab up a Scarlet Bag kit. I do want to mention that the pattern does not come with this kit, so you do need to head on over to sewingonline.sulky.com and get the sew along for these. And once you buy the sew along over there, you will have access to the pattern and a video that takes you through the entire process for constructing the bag. So many great deals right now at sulky.com. I mean, it might be Sulky's birthday or something. Right? All right. So where do we go from here? So many things. Let's talk about really quickly our German Christmas market happening this holiday season. So at the end of the year here in December, we are going to head to Germany and Austria with the fine folks at Craft Tours. And we will be bringing you the Christmas market tour of a lifetime. We are going to go to all the Christmas markets. We are going to go to Christmas markets in Nuremberg, Christmas markets in Munich, Christmas markets in Austria. You will see all the great Christmas markets. We are also going to see a lot of places where they filmed The Sound of Music. It's so beautiful, and it's the perfect time of year to go. The weather is crisp. We might even have a little bits of snow here and there. It's just a beautiful experience that you will love. Even if you're a solo traveler, I highly encourage you to check out this tour because you're surrounded by your new best friends. We all like to sew and quilt and create, and we have that in common. And so we have something to talk about right off the bat. So I highly encourage you to check this out. This tour closes for registrations on August 7th. So you only have a few more weeks to decide if you want to join us this year for a Christmas market tour with Sulky. We are also going to visit the factory where Sulky thread is made and manufactured. As you know, most of our threads are made in Germany. And we are going to have a behind the scenes look, very special trip because this place is not open to the public ever, except for our special tours. So you're going to get to see how the sausage gets made, as they say. So check out this tour. I linked directly to it in the description of today's post. So if you're not seeing all the links that I added today, make sure to hit that little see more button at the lower edge of your screen, or that button might just say more. Click on that and the whole description will pop out, and there you will find all the links to everything I'm talking about today, including also our Greece tour that is happening in 2026 with craft tours. And I absolutely cannot wait for this trip. We are going in the end of May, early June, so right before the big heavy touristy season starts up, and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So check that one out as well. All right, so let's get to our celebration for the day and our celebration machine embroidery collection. This all started back when we presented our Christmas in the Hoop gift tags webcast. This was a couple of years ago. Quite honestly, it was, dare I say, the most popular webcast we have done. Everyone absolutely loved this project. We went through, 3 restockings of this kit. It was so popular. So these gift tags were done on a metallic cork fabric. I also showed how to use felty for these gift tags because it looks really great, especially on like a black felty. The metallic poly sparkle thread that's featured in these designs and the beautiful shimmery rayon really, really pops off of a black felty or a dark, deep, mossy green felty. Looks really nice as well. These gift tags came in 2 sizes, a really small gift tag and then this larger one that has a pocket on the back. So you can add a little gift card or a $20 bill or a little note for the recipient. And then they can keep it and use it as an ornament or even a little place card setting at your holiday table. So we created these beautiful designs. You could see there's the ugly sweater, the stocking, the little Nordic bird, the holly jolly Santa, an ornament, and then a pile of gifts. These were then turned into cross-stitch gift tags, which were charted to fit a wooden cross-stitch blank that we offer at sulky.com. So here are the cross-stitch versions of those designs. So you can see they look very similar, but they are charted for cross-stitch, so a little bit different, and they end up having this different look on the wooden cross-stitch blank. So we have, because of the popularity of these, we have created a bunch more collections of gift tags featuring some different designs. So now we have the Celebrations gift tag palette. That means you get the gift tag designs and the flats in 3 sizes. The flats are just the design without the gift tag steps. And then you also get 12 spools of Sulky rayon thread. So if you purchase up the designs with the palette, you get the designs and thread. If you purchase up the design collection only, you will just get the design collection. We also, this is the collection, just showing you the gift tags in felty, the gift tags in metallic cork, and then the flat designs on some napkins and on a greeting card. So lots of different uses for these. And I will show you what the designs look like up close in just a little bit. But here are a set of napkins. So these designs both say, let's celebrate. One has a little cupcake with a candle on it, and then one has a balloon bouquet. So it's let's celebrate 1 and let's celebrate 2. I think these look really great on napkins if you're having a birthday brunch or something like this. Excuse me, I have I don't know why my nose would be running here because it's so hot even at 10 in the morning. So excuse me, everyone. All right. So on these napkins, again, these would be super cute on a birthday brunch buffet or table setting, or even to gift to somebody, maybe on a cute little towel, and you wrap up a little cookie mix with a cute little spatula with it. This would make a really great birthday gift. Or if anyone is just celebrating a milestone of some kind. So love the idea that these can be used for multiple holidays. So to create this cute little napkin, you can purchase up some napkin blanks from an embroidery store of sorts. We have some napkin blanks available at sulky.com as well. Or you may just be able to find a bulk pack of matching napkins, whether it's on Amazon or Target or what have you, or you may just have some lying around that need some embellishment. Especially if you happen to have some napkins, maybe there's a little stain on one, and so now you don't have a full set. Grab those and put some embroidery over the stain to hide it, breathe new life into it, and get more mileage out of that pack of napkins. So first up, for the napkins, we're going to use Sulky Sticky Plus Stabilizer. Sticky Plus is an adhesive-backed tearaway stabilizer, and it's one of my favorite stabilizers to use because we can do all sorts of hoopless embroidery with it. And I use the term hoopless embroidery because we're not hooping the item that we're embroidering, whether it's fabric or a ready-made item. This is the same thing we would use to embroider those those leather luggage tags that I was showing earlier that came in the summer mystery box. Let me just pick that one up. All right, so the Sticky Plus, we are going to hoop the Sticky Plus with the paper side facing up. Then we are going to score the paper where the embroidery is going to go. You can use a Sulky Sticky Plus slitting pen to score the paper. Another thing I like to do is I will put the hoop on the machine and I will run a based around design function. You don't even have to have your needle threaded for this. You can perform that step and your needle will perforate the paper backing, or it will really perforate. I don't want to use the word perforate. Your needle will go around the design perimeter and give you lines for your design size that you can then follow with your Sticky Plus slitting pen. Hopefully I'm explaining that correctly because I am like losing my mind. I hope you guys get the idea. Once you've done the perimeter basting function with or without thread, just follow along those lines with your Sticky Plus slitting pen, and then you can carefully remove the paper backing just inside that design area. Some people like to remove the paper backing all the way to the inner hoop edges, and that is fine too. It just gives you more sticky stabilizer to deal with when you are removing it from the item. So me personally, I like to only remove the paper right beyond the design perimeter. That way, when I go to remove the stabilizer when I'm done, I don't risk, pulling that sticky away from a lot of my fabric when I want to remove it. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, once we have removed the paper backing, now we are ready to place our napkin over the top of the sticky of the stabilizer. So we're going to determine the placement on the napkin, and you can either print a template of the design and kind of audition that over the napkin. It's really going to depend on how you want to fold the napkin. How are you going to display it on your table? Do you want it to be along the napkin point, so centered right above that? Or are you going to fold your napkin into a rectangle? So you want your design to kind of showcase right above maybe the lower right corner of your napkin. So determine the placement, and then you can fold your napkin in half along where you want that design center point to be. And you can create a little fold line just by finger pressing, or you can pin mark along that fold line as well. So that's going to be your vertical axis line that you're going to align with your hoop markings. And then you can mark your horizontal axis line and mark that up align that with your horizontal hoop markings. And I really think this is a very smart way to determine the placement in the hoop. You can even have your hoop on the machine already, place half of your fabric, and then fold your napkin over and double check that your pin marked fold line or your finger pressed fold line is right along that hoop center line. And then same goes with your horizontal line. All right, once we have our napkin secured on the sticky part of the hoop, you can double check the placement by moving your hoop to the center needle position and just kind of with your hand wheel, sink the needle down in, making sure that it hits right along that center axis line. You can also use your perimeter functions to just move the hoop to eyeball where you have your design placed. All the design placement help that we have out in the universe, if you have a template that came with your hoop, if you have a little centering dot, if you have a camera built in on your embroidery machine, by all means, use all the things at your disposal to double and triple check your embroidery placement, especially when we are working with ready-made items like a hemmed napkin, a t-shirt shoulder area, a pocket, something like this. Because there's no going back, right? Once we have embroidered the design and we determine that it's slightly skewed or upside down or something like this. So double and triple check your placement using all of the tools that you have in your sewing room. And then you can start the design. Follow the color chart that comes with the design collection. It's very extensive. It has every single Sulky rayon thread color that you need to go to for each step so that your design looks exactly like it was intended here. I love the shading on the balloons and all of the beautiful colors that come with this collection. So if you are unsure if you have all of these colors, you can just grab up the Celebration palette and you will get all 12 rayon colors that are used throughout the collection, as well as all the designs. All right, so that is our napkin tutorial. And let's see, do we want to go to the gift tags yet? I may have this a little bit out of order. Let's go to the greeting card first, and we'll go to the gift tags next, since that's kind of a whole different process. These are, again, called the flat designs. And the reason that we're calling them flats is because they are the designs or the motifs that are inside of the gift tag designs. So these are the ones you can use for all sorts of projects. I love using these for greeting cards because they're celebration designs, right? What are we sending cards out for, right? We're either thinking of somebody, we're celebrating a birthday, we're giving a congratulations. You get the idea. So for a greeting card, we actually have a really great embroidery session at sewingonline.sulky.com, and it's called Embroidered Greeting Cards. And we partnered with Designs by Juju for that session, and she provided a bunch of greeting card designs that you get for free with purchase of that embroidery session. You also get tons of video tutorials that take you through different ways to embroider greeting cards, whether it's on watercolor paper or sulky felty. You get the idea. So this is a little bit of an overview of some of the techniques that are presented in that sewing session. So if you're interested in some other greeting card designs, you can check that session out. You'll get a whole collection of designs. You will also get a blank greeting card design with instructions for how to personalize it with or without software. You also get an extensive lesson on designs that are suitable for different types of materials, different types of cards that you want to create. So it's a really great resource if you love to embroider cards. I also think cards are a great way to use those sample stitch outs. Maybe you did a test stitch out on felty or on cork even, or on a special fabric like burlap, just to see how your machine, needle, thread, stabilizer combination would perform. Let's say it turned out great, but you only stitched it out on a small piece of fabric. Well, cut that fabric out, mount it on some cardstock, and send it to someone as a little greeting. So greeting cards are, great uses for tons of stitch outs that maybe we even have on hand already. But this collection is just perfect to make cards with. So this particular card is done on felty first and then mounted to cardstock. This is a little bit more dense of a design. Lots of stitches here. You can see all those fill stitches in the envelope and all those fill stitches making up the flowers and all of the detail elements. And even the lettering is a satin stitch. So you want to stay away from embroidering directly onto paper like a watercolor paper or a lightweight cardstock, which may or may not even be recommended for greeting cards anyway. We don't want to perforate the paper with all of these needle penetrations. So we're going to embroider this on some Sulky felty, which is manufactured to accept a lot of needle holes without perforating, puckering, buckling, all of those things. I don't know how they do it, but it performs perfect with even the densest of designs. So it's really, really great stuff. Plus, it feels like luxurious wool, but it's polyester. So you can use water-soluble stabilizer on it. You can fuse it. You could throw it in the washing machine. Obviously not if you've made a card with it, but you get the idea. So we are going to put some Sulky Stiffy Stabilizer in the hoop, and then put our felty over the top. If you have a magnetic hoop like this one, you can stitch it out as shown. If not, you would want to do hoopless embroidery for this. So you would hoop the stabilizer only and then float your felty over the top using some KK2000 temporary spray adhesive to secure the felty to the stabilizer. All right. So now that the embroidery is complete, I suggest leaving your stabilizer intact along the entire back side of your felty. It's just going to give it a little bit more body since we are going to glue it to some cardstock. So you can glue your stabilizer to the cardstock rather than trying to glue the felty to the cardstock. Especially if you were going to use like a glue gun or some more heavy duty craft glue, you might be able to see those little glue blobs through your felty when you're gluing it to the card. So to avoid that, we're going to keep all of the stabilizer intact on the wrong side of the felty, and we're going to trim up the felty and the stabilizer through both layers, keeping them as one. So first off, you can measure your card that you are going to mount this on. So maybe you have folded a card so that you can write something on the inside. Or maybe you're making more like a postcard where you just have one bit of cardstock that you're going to glue this to. Whatever size card you're making to make it easy for you to send in the mail or what have you, measure your felty and mark and trim off those sides, leaving a little bit of a border so you can see your pretty colored cardstock peeking out behind it. And then you can trim up the top and bottom once you have measured that as well. I suggest doing the vertical cuts and then placing it back on the cardstock to measure your horizontal cuts rather than doing everything all at once. Just take a little bit more time with it. Again, to make sure it's the exact right size that you want it to be, because once you've trimmed it off, there's no going back. So measure twice, cut once, right? Or maybe measure 3 times, just to be on the safe side. Now that you have your felty trimmed to fit the card so that you have a nice pretty border around it with that cardstock, you can apply your glue stick, just a fabric glue stick here, all over the backside of your stabilizer and or of the felty. And then just place it on the cardstock, smooth it out with your hands to secure, and it's ready for gifting. Don't forget to put your personalized message either inside of a folded card or on the back side of a postcard. So really super simple and really impactful. You know, someone gets this card, they will never find it in the store. And they know that it was handmade by you. So I love doing an embroidered greeting card when I really want to make something for someone, but maybe I don't know what they would like, or I don't have time to make a full project. I can have my machine going and kind of multitask and still make them something special. And, you know, thinking of you. So love that. All right. So let's see. Let's get to our gift tags because it is a little bit of a process. And if you guys remember our Christmas gift tags in the hoop, or our I Woof You Valentine Pets gift cards that I keep saying gift cards now, gift tags that we did, we also have a collection called Talk Quilty to Me. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But for the celebration ones, you can either use felty. You're going to need a rectangle for the front of the gift card that gets embellished, and a rectangle for the back of the gift card, which conceals everything and makes it a nice, pretty finished gift tag. So you can either use felty or you can use some pretty cork fabric. Some sort of no fray fabric is really what's recommended. I would not use a faux leather because of the density of these designs. But you could use, let's say, a felty for the top and a pretty faux leather on the back to, you know, conceal all of our stitches and finish the gift tag. So that's an option. I just wouldn't use a faux leather for, you know, the embellished part of the tag. So we have all of our beautiful thread colors that are included in that machine embroidery palette. We have our Sulky Stiffy Stabilizer, which is a heavier weight tearaway stabilizer. It's going to help give body to our gift tag so that if we're hanging it on a tree or hanging it off of a gift, it still retains its shape nicely because that stiffy is going to stay behind the design and, you know, the whole back of the gift tag. So your choice of felty in your chosen color. I like the pink or the white for this just to coordinate with the colors, but you can choose the color that you love. And then of course on the cork, I love that hint of metallic. We actually have a kit, a In the Hoop gift tags kit at sulky.com that includes some metallic cork. It includes a metallic elastic that you can use as your gift tag, why can't I speak? As your gift tag, like ribbon or elastic of choice. And then of course the threads and things like that. However, that kit coordinates with our Christmas gift tags collection. So you get all the threads for the gift tags or for the Christmas designs, but it does come with that metallic cork as well. All right. Jana says, could we use cotton thread? Metallic scares me. So not all, actually all of the threads in this collection are rayon. So in the Christmas designs, there's only one poly sparkle thread and the rest are rayon. So if metallic thread scares you, you can substitute rayon for that. I wouldn't necessarily go to a cotton thread though, because these designs are digitized for a 40 weight thread. And our cotton threads come in either 30 weight or 50 weight. So either heavier than the thread that's intended or lighter than the thread that's intended. And I want to make sure you get great coverage and a beautiful stitch out. So 40 weight thread is really what's recommended for these designs. And since they are rather dense, I would not go up or down in thread weight. So I would stick with rayon or Sulky Poly Deco for these designs. All right, so needle choice is very important if you are working with the cork fabric. Cork fabric, you know, it's not a woven fabric, so when you are puncturing it with a needle, all of those holes are permanent. We want to make sure that the hole we are creating to make room for that thread is just big enough for the thread to pass through and not any bigger and definitely not any smaller. If the hole is smaller than the thread weight, the needle hole, then your thread's going to break because there is not room for your thread to go into the needle eye. And when it's creating the holes for the thread, there just isn't enough room for it. So you might have shredding, you might have thread breakage, and it's not the thread's fault, it's the needle size. The Microtex needle is really what is recommended for machine embroidery on cork. It has a nice slim point to it. So again, it's only going to create a hole that's large enough for your thread to pass through. The 80-12 size is what is recommended for our 40 weight rayon and 40 weight poly deco. If you're doing top stitching, let's say with a metallic thread, you know, aside from machine embroidery on cork, I would go up to a 90-14 Microtex needle. I've also had success using a top stitch needle with cork, but I will say that it creates a little bit larger hole when you are doing embroidery. So Microtex is where it's at. It's nice and smooth when you are embroidering and or sewing on cork fabric. All right, so first we're going to hoop that stiffy stabilizer. And this stabilizer, just to conserve stabilizer, has been overlapped in the hoop, but don't let that concern you at all. It's no big deal. All right. So first we are going to run step number 1, which is the placement stitch for our first fabric rectangle, whether we're using cork or felty. So you can see there's the outline of the gift tag, and then there's 2 little notches that it sews out along the side. These are our pocket placement marks that we are not going to need until the very end when we add the backing fabric to the wrong side of the hoop. If you want to add a pocket, those are the lines where you would line up the upper edge of your pocket along the back side of the hoop after placing your back rectangle. All right, so we'll get to that at the very end, but that's what those little notches are for. They're pocket placement lines. Then we are going to take our first fabric rectangle, shown here is the cork, but the same process applies to the felty. Spray the back of it with a little KK2000 and then center it over those placement lines to completely cover them. Now you can place the hoop back onto the machine. Oh, these are also the placement lines shown for the felty version. And you can see placing that felty over the placement stitches. So same exact process. We're just using a different fabric here for the gift tag. All right. Okay. Just trying to get my bearings here on the images. Okay, so after you've placed your first rectangle, then you're going to go through all of the embroidery steps. It's going to sew out however many steps are in that design. Some of them have 9, some of them have 14 steps. It really just depends on how many colors and shades and all of that are in the motif. So follow your color chart and stitch out the entire motif. And then you're going to remove the hoop from the machine and turn it over. So very important here, if you do decide to use a magnetic hoop to create your gift tag, sometimes when you are removing your hoop from the machine, the magnets can shift a little bit. So you can use a magnetic hoop, but you have to be very careful with multi-step in the hoop projects, because when you are removing that hoop, things can shift a little bit easier than when you're using a standard hoop like this. So if you are using a magnetic hoop, carefully hold the top and bottom of the hoop when you are removing it so that nothing shifts out of place. Very important. So you're going to turn your hoop over to the wrong side. Then we're going to take our reserved fabric rectangle and place it right side up over those first placement stitches, using a little bit more of the KK2000 to secure that to the back of the hoop. You also want to add some Sulky clear embroidery tape, because what can happen is, even if you've used the KK2000, you go to slide your hoop back onto the machine, and unbeknownst to you, the top of that cork fabric rolls to the wrong side while you're slipping your hoop onto the machine, and you go to press start and everything is stitching, and you go to remove it, and half of your cork fabric has folded, or your felty or whatever you're using has folded, and now you've got to remove all of that. You've lost that piece of cork. Now you have to put a new one on. So you really need to add some tape here. Sulky clear embroidery tape is great stuff. I actually have some little scraps of the tape taped to my desk here, because you can use it and reuse it about 3 times. You can also cut it into smaller strips. Here I have some really smaller strips. You don't even need to cut it actually, because it tears away so cleanly, whether you accidentally stitch over it and need to remove it, or if you want to make these smaller, more narrow strips, you simply can just tear it, and look how cleanly it tears away into these smaller strips. So if you are just looking to tape down a zipper in the hoop project, or tape some hardware so that it's out of the way of the stitching, you can completely cover it up with this Sulky clear embroidery tape. I love that it's clear so we can see what's happening underneath it, and that it tears away so nicely if we happen to stitch over it. So definitely tape down this back layer. And here is where, if you want to add a pocket to your gift tag, you will need a slightly smaller rectangle of the same fabric, and you will align the upper edge of that fabric with those pocket placement marks. Tape that down as well, and then turn your hoop back over and put it back onto the machine. Then the machine will stitch that final outline step of the gift tag, which is going to secure all of those layers together. It's also going to sew out a little oval at the top of your gift tag, and that's what we're going to put our elastic or ribbon or whatever you would like to use. That's where we're going to put that, so that we can tie our gift tag to a gift, make it into an ornament, etc. So once that final step is done, you can remove the hoop from the machine, remove the stabilizer from the hoop, and start tearing it away beyond the layers, or between the layers, I should say. Very important to remove the stabilizer before you trim the gift tag. That way, there is no stabilizer between those layers along the seam allowance. So you never see any stabilizer. It just remains between the layers inside of the perimeter stitching. So here's what it looks like when you just tear it away cleanly, kind of like you're tearing a postage stamp. Tear it away cleanly from the stitching line. And here you can see it tears away easily on cork, easily on felty, just along that stitching line. And that outer stitching line, it stitches either 2 or 3 times, I can't remember, along the perimeter to really secure things nicely. And here you can see how cleanly it tears away between those layers. And now it's time to trim it up. So you can use a rotary blade and trim the long edges, but really along those curves, you can use a curved embroidery scissor that works really well, or just a really nice sharp small pair of scissors so you can get into those cute little scallop edges. And you want to leave anywhere between 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, whatever you're more comfortable with, beyond that outer stitching line. Once you've trimmed up your gift tag, you need to create a little hole or slit inside of that little oval at the top so that your elastic or your ribbon can fit through. If you are going to use a ribbon, you want a pretty narrow ribbon, like 1/8 of an inch wide. And to use ribbon, I would use a slit at the top, which you can create with a seam ripper or a little craft knife. But if you're using elastic, like a metallic corded elastic, which is what we're featuring here, you can poke a little hole with an awl, or you might have a little rotary punch, something like that. Use the smallest hole possible for your elastic to fit through. And once you have poked your hole, whether you are using the cork or the felty, then you can insert your elastic. So here is the whole collection done in the felty. Love it. Love the texture of it. Love the pink and white colors. And then here's what everything looks like on the cork. So it does show up a little bit better on the felty, especially in photos. But there is just something about that metallic cork that makes these look and feel really special as well. So the choice of your fabric is entirely up to you, but again, you want to use something that doesn't fray since we are not finishing these edges. So now we need to insert a bit of elastic, or again, you can use some ribbon for this. And it's really helpful if you've poked that hole to grab a needle with a large eye that's going to fit your elastic cording or whatever it is you're threading through that little hole or slit, and just thread it through the needle, and then put your needle through that hole, and your elastic is all ready to knot at the top. I just match the two elastic ends and knot them as one, and then it's nice and secure. And you can choose how big or long you want your elastic to be. I like using elastic because if you are going to use this even as like a luggage tag identifier or on a gift bag, you can stretch that elastic so that it fits around your gift tag. But if you are using ribbon, just leave your ribbon ends open until you've tied it to the gift and you're good to go. Here's what it looks like in felty. So with the felty, we've got a silver elastic cording. And then with the cork, we've got the gold elastic cording that matches with the gold flecked metallic fabric. So here we have that finished felty gift tag. And now you are ready to gift these to all of your friends for all sorts of occasions. And I'm just going to show you, now you can see a little bit more of the difference with that metallic cork versus the felty. So you can kind of decide which one is best for you, which one you prefer. And oh, I also wanted to mention we have a special felty pack that is now at sulky.com. It's called our Spring Assortment Pack. It has the pinks, it has the whites, it has the greens that are all featured in this thread palette. And it's all a pack all together for you so that you can purchase up the Spring Felty Assortment Pack and create all sorts of gift tags using it. And you don't have to buy, rolls of this, that, and the other color, or our rainbow assortment pack and try to find all the pinks out of it. We've already curated that for you so that you'll have all the colors that match this collection in one convenient felty pack. I almost forgot to discuss that with you. So, all right, so here's our Grateful for You gift tag. I just wanted to show you them side by side so you could see the difference. You're the Sweetest with a sweet little birthday cake on it. Thinking of you again with that cute envelope full of flowers, and Let's Celebrate. And there are 2 other designs as well, 6 in total. So you get 6 in the hoop gift tag designs, as well as 6 flats in 3 sizes. So if you purchase up the digital collection, you will get only the designs. And that is a giveaway today for one lucky viewer who is watching, commenting, giving me those great emojis. I am going to pick one person at random to win the Machine Embroidery Celebration digital collection. You can also purchase up the palette, which includes 12 Sulky rayon threads, as well as the designs. All right. So, as we did with our Christmas gift tags, we also charted these for cross stitch. So you can grab up the digital cross stitch collection of the Celebrations cross stitch gift tags. And they come with all of the 6 designs that I just showed you in the hoop version. But these are charted specifically for our wooden gift tag blank that's available at sulky.com. I think it's $5 or $6 for the gift tag blank. And then you stitch right through the blank. It's, I think, a 14 count blank. And your needle fits right through the holes that are already punched into the blank. And so it makes cross stitching so much easier. And these are just so fun to give away as well and to make. I will say too that it's a nice touch to add a little rectangle of felty to the wrong side of your wooden gift tag, and that kind of conceals all the stitching on the back side. So you can just cut a little bit of felty, hot glue it to the outside of the gift tag, and conceal all of your stitches so that it's packaged up quite nicely. You could even hand write a little note to mom, love me, what have you, on the piece of felty, or maybe the year that you made it, or the occasion, or what have you. It's a nice way to kind of autograph your work as well. And then I mentioned that we also have a Tuck Quilty to Me collection. These have 4 designs, and you can find those for cross stitch and machine embroidery as well. And if you grab up the machine embroidery version, you get all 4 designs as gift tag in the hoop designs, and you get all 4 flats in 3 sizes. So you see there's Tuck Quilty to Me, 1 block at a time, life is better with a quilt, and it's a good day to quilt. So all sorts of gift tags for all sorts of occasions. And, you know, I hope that one or more of them speak to you. Oh, and thank you, Anita. She says, I saw a cute Halloween cross stitch blank. I love them. We actually have a Halloween cross stitch gnome, and it's a wooden blank that you can get at sulky.com. We also have the thread palette for that one. And that one includes a little bit of Sulky Filane thread, which you can brush out to create some 3D effects within that design. So thanks for mentioning that. I did put the link to that one in the description of today's post as well, so you can check out that little Halloween gnome cross stitch blank. The blanks are really cool. You know, sometimes I struggle with, how am I going to display this beautiful cross stitch? I don't want another piece of hoop art on the wall. You know, sometimes I love a hoop art, and sometimes I want to make it into something else, like a pillow or an inset to a bag, something like this. But the cross stitch wooden blanks are really cool, and I'm seeing them a lot more popping up these days. They just make cross stitch so much easier, like I mentioned. You still do have to count and all those things, but it's just a lot easier than a big piece of Aida cloth that might be a little bit intimidating for you. You have the blank in front of you, you know, okay, this is the little guy's hat. And so you can kind of focus on one area at a time. And for the gift tags, it makes them come together so much quicker and easier. And you have a built-in display for your work. It's on this wooden blank. So Really, really cute way to display and give your cross stitch. Connie says, I love the cross stitch tags. Thank you. Chris says, great ideas for every occasion. Love that. So many ideas, Deborah. Let's see. Susie Q says, I bought the kit last year and love it. I added a pocket to the back with cork and decorative fabric. Love that. Roxanne says, these look so nice. Thank you. Betsy says, these tags could be more appreciated than the gift itself, right? They are a gift in and of themselves. Love. Anita says, so do the blanks make something like an ornament or gift tag? Maybe they would be pretty on a basket. Absolutely. So the gift tags have a little hole at the top, so you can add your ribbon or your corded elastic or whatever you want to use to tie that wooden gift tag blank to something else. If you do want to use it as a gift tag on a present or as a luggage identifier, again, I would not put it through TSA. I would identify maybe a duffel bag or a bag that you are going to carry on, because we don't want anything happening to our beautiful cross stitch, right? Also, you can use them as ornaments. Very pretty to hang those on a tree. Or, as you mentioned, really pretty to tie it onto a basket. I love that idea. I love giving a basket as a gift that's full of goodies. So this would really make it special and add a little handmade touch to an otherwise purchased gift. So thank you for that. Yes, the cross stitch is so pretty. If you haven't done cross stitch in a while, I really encourage you to grab up one of these wooden cross stitch blanks and try one of the gift tag designs. And it's just a really great project. Maybe, you're watching a movie, maybe it's a movie you've seen a number of times, but you still love watching it. So you can give your attention to your project and stitch in hand while you're kind of listening to your favorite album or your favorite movie, something like that. So you don't necessarily need to stitch on your machine to get some creative juices flowing. All right. Let's see. I think maybe I'm caught up on questions, but if you do have a question about this project or any of the projects I talked about today and I missed your question, you can add it again to the live chat, or you can always email us at customercare@sulky.com, and we would be happy to assist you. All right. Love the idea to use a tag on a gift basket. Absolutely. And yes, the pocket on the back is a good way to give a gift card as well. Perfect. All right. Well, I just want to thank all of you for joining me today. As usual, every Tuesday is such a joy that I get to hang out with all of you and present a fun project. So happy birthday to Sulky as well. And here's to another 38 plus more years of Sulky products, Sulky thread and stabilizers, and education. And don't forget, I'm giving away our celebration machine embroidery collection to one lucky viewer who is watching, commenting, giving me those great emojis. That's all you have to do to be eligible to win today's gifts from Sulky. You also need to like us on Facebook if you're watching there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there. And I will pick winners at random to receive the Celebrations Machine Embroidery Collection, as well as our two special kits that I'm giving away today as well, which are our 2023 Self-Care Mystery Box and our 2024 Spring Mystery Box. Those are valued at $49.99, and our collection is valued at $34.99. So lots of things to win today. And I hope you head on over to sulky.com and check out our brand new machine embroidery celebrations products, whether it be for cross stitch or machine embroidery. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.